and this is the Rogue Tell Me When guide for patch 7.0. Just like the Warlock one, it will catch all 3 specs right into this package, and we'll start off with Assassination, and I had to set it up in a few unique ways just to make it so it gives you the absolute best choice at any given moment. So it does work. I tested it out in a raid environment and compared the damage percentages to some of the higher logs from better geared players. My rogue here is not very well geared, but all the damage values are in the right place. All the uptimes and everything else seem to line up very well, and so that's usually a good tell for me that things are working as they should. And you should experience the same information. Everything here is set up to be somewhat more lenient with the dot timers, just to give you a chance to regenerate some energy and other things. But this one had probably the most work out of all 3, and just like all the specs, there's the anchor in the bottom so you can move everything more freely. But I'm just going to show you Garrote here. So when we open this up and go to the conditions, normally this would have very few conditions, but as you can see, there's a lot going on in here. That is because the priority for Garrote changes depending on what's happening and what talents you've taken. It'll always be the thing you want to open with, but it won't be the thing you want to use while in Vanish if you took certain talents. So I had to put in a few handles just to make sure that that doesn't happen. So you should now be told exactly when and what to use very accurately. Now, in Outlaw, a similar sort of setup happened. When it comes to Roll the Bones is unique in that you have a chance of getting one of 6 buffs, and any of those buffs are, they're all good, except for one, I thought, and it was Grand Melee. I thought that that buff in particular was probably the weakest of them, and if you ended up getting that one exclusively alone, it's probably worth re-rolling to try and get something different, or multiples at least. So it will go ahead and tell you to keep any multiples that you've had, but if you have just the Grand Melee, you'll notice that Roll the Bones pops up again. Otherwise, it functions as well as it can. This is a very strange spec in general. It's very random, so it's a little difficult to give it good logic in a priority system, but it does function appropriately, and from my testing, it did actually work the way that it should. And you'll find yourself only really rolling the bones every 40 seconds on average, so that's not too crazy. Finally, we have Subtlety. And just like Assassination, this one has quite a few things going on. A lot of it revolves around your stance, in this case being Stealth, and also Shadow Dance. And I've got it to track both those things and tell you exactly what you should be doing. Now, this one has the Shadow Dance overlay, much like the Judgment from the Paladin, right over top your combo bar there. And it will track all your cooldowns on the left and right that are important. And I've also made some room for the Mark for Death talent in case you chose that. All 3 of these will also change the rotation based on what talents you've taken, whether you've taken Death from Above. In this case, there's another talent, I forget its name, but the rotation will change dynamically as you change your talents and tell you what's more important to cast at that given time. So you can feel free to use whatever you'd like. Obviously there is a best out there, but it'll function no matter what you choose. And yeah, I hope that this is everything you guys need, and I will catch you guys later.